Chandni Sareen. I'm a stylist, model, and designer.
Hi, I'm Veera Kapur E. I'm a costume designer. I do films and advertising.
All right. When was it that you knew you wanted to work in fashion?
I came to Bombay and I started as an assistant director. And that time, as an intern, as somebody new, we were supposed to take part in every aspect of filmmaking. And in advertising, I had a keen eye for costumes, and they would make me do little small odd jobs. And I realized that I was so happy doing that, that I wanted to pursue it further and learn from designers. So I think on the job is where I found my passion.
On the job. For me, it was basically I studied advertising because I became a model while I was in school, and it was somehow like intriguing for me to like, oh, what are they doing? You know, how are they hiring me, and what's happening here, and like making these ads. And so I pursued advertising, and from there I went to PR, and from there I finally went to interior styling, and all this while I was modeling. So I had this lovely stylist, Zeenat from Grazia, and she was styling me for a job, and she was like, if you ever, like, you'd almost style yourself on shoots. This is what I would do, you know. She's like, you have a knack for it, and you should maybe be a fashion stylist. And that's how my fashion journey started. But I feel like I always wanted to be in fashion, but I just didn't know what or how. But being a model kind of like really helped.
Who was your biggest support when you started out?
It's so cringe, but it's so honest. It's got to be my parents. I can write a big fat thank you speech to them. My dad, when we moved to Bombay, he was like, okay, I think this is where I need my daughter to grow up. I think like this looks like a cup of tea, you know? And I'm so fortunate that he thought that way. My mom would come with me to auditions, and like, you know, it was just always like anything I wanted to do, they always supported me. And honestly, couldn't have done this without them. Yeah.
I feel definitely my family has always encouraged me, and they've let me make my own decisions.
Yeah.
Also, in the industry, my biggest support has been my director, Sujit Sarkar. Because I grew with him, I learned, and he gave me opportunities without any experience. And that, I think, is the biggest challenge, you know, when people don't know what you're capable of and they still give you a chance.
Someone's got to find you and be like, you go,
So
girl.
That was,
Yeah.
he was my biggest support in the industry.
On a project, how do you strike a balance between the brief and your personal sense of style? Oh, gosh.
I feel following the brief is definitely important because, especially when you're doing films, you're bringing out the director's vision. That's how I kind of start my project. But also, the beauty of it is that every person has their own style. And when you kind of incorporate that, we all end up incorporating a little bit of us in our characters.
Absolutely.
So that's what I try and do, be it my interest in Indian fabrics, fusion wear. So I kind of bring that into my characters. So that's how I go about it.
Because I come from fashion editorial kind of styling, which for me is like max creativity, you can just go for it. But then when you come to the ad world, it's like this purple and it has to be that shade. And, you know, like, I'm like, how am I going to just like breathe and like just let it be? You need, the client is the king. He's got to be happy. And it's always been a dilemma for me, like what makes me happy styling wise, which is the editorial stuff where I can just go crazy and do my thing. And it's about also like finding the right model, the personality, and like creating a story with that more than just putting something out there which is very much there for the brand and for what that look is or what they're trying to sell. I must say I have always kept the clients happy, but what makes me happy is the total other side of it.
How do you stay on top of fashion trends? Do you ever find it tough to keep up?
So, my favorite fashion trend that never goes out of style is confidence. So I feel that that's the start and end of that, you know. I have never been the one to follow the herd and like, okay, this is what's in trend now and that's what we should be doing or wearing. And like I said, it's always about who I'm styling and the person, the personality, and I like to bring my sense of style also in that, but confidence is key.
Great.
Yeah.
To be honest, even I feel, yes, there are fashion trends. We do see, like even when you're doing a period film, for example,
Yeah.
there are trends which were popular in the 70s. There was fashion of the 40s. So I love going back and seeing what trends are and even keeping up with the current ones to a certain extent. Like, for example, for me, if I'm showing a character who's from 2000, 2010, 2015, there's just little small things that help me differentiate between a certain time period.
Absolutely.
So, yes, I like to keep up with fashion trends, but I don't personally feel it affects me or I feel I have to do this just because it's trending.
It's trending, yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
very important, I think, to find that balance where you
Yeah.
understand that, yes, it's important to know what's happening around you, but not to feel suffocated by it at the same time, to understand that embrace all the lovely creative ideas that are coming up. Sometimes I find it so fascinating, the kind of prints, the kind of textures, all that's coming up.
Like fashion's always cycling back, which
Yeah.
is what I love about fashion.
Yes.
That no matter where we're going, it's always going back to what used to be amazing.
Yeah.
I love the 70s, 90s.
70s
that
will
were,
always
the
be
best
around.
time.
They're the best times, I feel. Yeah.
Absolutely. Next question. What is one current fashion trend that you like and one that you hate, and why?
I love that we have gone away from the skinny jeans because that was a
Thank
nightmare
God.
for me. So I'm really, really happy that we're back into like loose, baggy, lovely,
Yeah.
comfortable clothes. So that is a trend that I am loving.
Yeah.
Absolutely loving. The oversized shirts, the baggy jeans. That's my favorite.
70s, 90s, like
Yes,
we were saying
absolutely.
back there.
And what am I not liking? There's nothing really in particular. I'm not very judgmental about. I mean, again, fashion is it's also very personal. So,
to his own, yeah.
So I'm just happy with the loose clothes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for me also, like I said, for me, the trend that never runs out of fashion is confidence, which is why it doesn't matter for me. Like, I'm not out here to hate any sort of trends, but I must admit that back in the day, I would just hate neons. Somehow it was just this thing for me, like, oh my gosh, do not show me another neon. But currently, no judgments. And of course, 70s, 90s, my favorite trends, this baggy everything, oversized everything, and androgynous fits for me is like my style personally, and also like with my label, I just love to make androgynous fits. So, yeah.
what is the biggest misconception that people have about the work that you do?
I don't know how many people know the many hands of the octopus that I have or the hats that I wear. I don't know if it's a misconception, or just like not aware. But I, like I said, started off advertising, styling, always modeling, and that sort of it just flowed into me becoming a designer very naturally, because I had to make clothes for shoots. It's like, how much am I going to source from Zara for this or from designers? And if something particular we're looking for, then I may as well make it, because I imagine that shape and how it would look. And that's how I started making clothes. And I feel people think that once you reach somewhere in your career, then you're like, okay, I'm done with this. Let me do something else. And maybe that's why they see that I started my label, but that's not the case. And it started off purely because I was just making clothes anyway for my shoots, and I still style. And that's always a question, like, oh, so now you're busy with your label. Are you still styling? Like, yes, I'm still styling. You got me the bucks. You got my styling job. How about you?
I feel one of the biggest misconceptions that I've had to deal with is that people ask you, what is the big fashion course that you have done? Where have you studied fashion? All respect to institutes that teach fashion, and great, and we have some great creative talent from there. But I feel if you're passionate about what you're doing and you develop an interest and you learn the process and are willing to give in the time, willing to put in the effort that, okay, I will start from scratch. I'll work with people who know a lot more than me and I will pick up, and learn, keep learning.
Absolutely.
So I'm still open to learning after 20 years in this industry. And I feel that, yes, to have a fashion degree, to have background in fashion is definitely an advantage. But if you don't have one and you still want to pursue costume design,
still can.
it is possible, and especially for movies, because we're dealing with characters. We create real life characters and we have fun doing that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. All right. What is your proudest moment in your career? Let me guess. Is it the Black Lady?
Black Lady was the proudest
secured.
moment of my career, but I have recently won a national award. So I think that
Wow,
trumps the
yes,
Black Lady a little bit.
congrats.
So I really wouldn't have ever dreamed of getting it. Even after getting it, it took me a few minutes to even let it sink in that no, I'm sure there's some mistake.
Yeah.
Is this a nomination? Is this something? Then they told me that no, there are no nominations for the national award. You just get it.
That's
The national award
amazing.
was, I think, the best thing that's ever happened to me in my career.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
In my styling career, I had this moment where I was very done with styling celebrities. I just was frustrated. Like, I don't want to pick up another dress and put it on someone. And then came Zeenat Aman, and I had the privilege of styling her. Not just that I got to style Zeenat Aman, like that was a moment, but just like she changed my feeling in that moment that, yes, okay, no, there are still celebrities that you will very happily style and everything will be fine. You just breathe, Chandni, you got this. And that was, I think Zeenat Aman for me was my styling proud moment. Also, my second proud moment would be me opening my store with my label. My clothing label came about very naturally, and I did not see it I'm going to have a store one day, sell my clothes, this, that, and have all these other brands in store and now run a store. And I did not think it through, and I like that I just go with the flow and I reach there. So that's quite a proud moment for me.
What is something you think needs to change about the fashion industry?
Do we have a big list or what? The culture of community and collaboration, for me, that is the key, most important thing. Without that, what are you going to style? What is fashion? It's teamwork that makes your movie come together or your ad come together, or even just a photograph come together. Everybody on that team has got to be in sync, and if that's not happening, then there's no final product that you're going to look at and love. And that for me is now changing. I feel in my initial days, it wasn't very collaborative. Either it's the photographer that is very hell-bent on something that he wants. And I don't know, I just see that the collaborative ideology and outlook is maybe now more there in our industry than it used to be. And I guess that's the most polite way I can put my one little flaw that I would like to mention. The others, I'll tell you off,
Yes,
off
we'll
the camera.
later for that. I'm curious.
Yeah.
For me, something that I felt needed to be changed, I think is already in the process. A lot of brands today, including Westside, has come up with fashion for bigger bodies. I personally have had that issue because I've always been a plump, happy child. I love food. And finding clothes for your body type is very important. And, it helps you feel confident.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that brands are making an initiative now. They're taking the initiative to bring out more fashion trends with bigger sizes and earlier, because I remember there was a phase when finding clothes, especially like if you wanted Western fashion, Indian clothes, we always had the option of getting things made to a particular body measurements. But finding certain fashion trends was very difficult, and that was very frustrating. So I'm glad that that's being dealt with, and I hope it just gets better.
Gets better.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on the runway now,
Correct.
It's like,
So, yes,
let's
it's happening.
go. It's
Yeah.
happening. It's happening. Okay. Fashion trends are constantly changing and evolving, but what is something that you think is timeless?
A sari.
Sorry. Oh,
That
would be my
and
answer
I
too.
what I really love today is I see so many people doing so much more with a sari than the regular conventional way of draping it.
Yeah.
So people feel confident wearing it with a t-shirt, teaming up with a pair of nice sports shoes, and putting a belt on a sari. I'm just loving
It's
the
amazing.
sari trend.
The sari
and
journey.
Yes.
It's pretty much that. I also make these saris now where you just, it's drapeless, right? You're just wearing a skirt and then you have a little pallu. And I see so many versions of those saris now. It's like not complicated. Everybody can wear it. Like my friends want to wear saris to their work meetings and all, It's like, gotta look like.
Yeah.
It's amazing that we can do that now. I love saris. This would also be my answer. Yes.
Saris are timeless.
Absolutely timeless. And also like our weaves, just any looms, like Indian
Absolutely,
looms and weaves, so timeless.
What makes India unique in the fashion world?
Aha, the looms and the weaves. I think we're so rich culturally, and our heritage is, it's just amazing. Every year, every season, you see more people, not just in India, also internationally, so obsessed with our paisleys or our ikats and our handlooms and bandhanis. Like you go to Norway, someone is wearing a bandhani, they don't even know they're wearing a bandhani. It's just so amazing that you see your craft and culture in different parts of the world just doing its thing. So yeah.
I feel same. I feel the fabrics of India is what makes it really unique, and our weavers and all our craftsmen. Also, what I've noticed is now so many international brands are coming to India, and they're collaborating and they're using Indian fabrics in their very, very, very modern Western silhouettes. So that is the most exciting thing. Is I think Indian fabrics.
Yeah. India to the world.
Yes.
What is the one thing you wish you could do but are afraid to?
Okay, I'm trying to think what I'd be afraid to do.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to model, actually.
Oh,
I'd be
no.
afraid to walk the ramp. That would be something I would be very afraid of doing. Because I'm so conscious of myself, so I feel that's something I'm afraid of, yeah.
It's because I'm a very like go with the flow kind of person. I'll just ride the wave and take what's coming and hit it head on. Maybe I fail at it and disappoint myself or others, but at least I tried. So with that outlook, I don't know if I'm particularly afraid of something, but yeah.
One question left. What is the most precious outfit you have in your wardrobe?
Oh, precious outfit. It's got to be my first ikat story that I made to go to my first international music festival, Rock Wakta. And it is made from my nani's bedsheet. And that's actually how I started making clothes. And the reason why I make ikat clothes is because I was just surrounded by it my entire childhood. My nani's sheets, curtains, I don't know, whatever she wore, her saris, my mom's saris. So instead of going out and like buying fabrics to make something, I just used what I had around me. And I felt that, yeah, that is that. And that is still my most precious. It's blue ikat and it's worn out, like it's been almost 10 years now. So yeah, it's worn out, but it's still my favorite. I still wear it on and off.
For me, my most precious possession in terms of clothes would be there's a sari that again my nani has given me. It's almost 100 years old.
Wow.
It's her mother's sari, and it's a gorgeous Parsi gara.
Oh wow.
So
Beautiful.
that work itself is it's a completely handmade sari.
Beautiful.
And that's my most prized possession.
Lovely. Hand-me-downs for life.